This book is called Cosmographie by Peter Heylin. It was published in 1666, which was 4 years after Heylin's death and the same year as the Great Fire of London. Heylin is, in 4 books, trying to convey the history of the world, which is a pretty grand idea. Heylin was a theologian as well as a historian, and he was fascinated by the exploration that was happening at the time. So he was using all those things to put into this book. It goes from ancient Egypt to his contemporary time. So he's trying to figure out where his place is in the world and the place of his country. I like the fact that it's nearly 400 years old. It has great ambition, that the author thought that he could understand the entire world and share that understanding with other people through publication. I think he probably would have liked to have gone around with the Royal Navy and seen some of these continents. As far as I know, he didn't. So there's a great ambition. It's also incredibly beautiful. You know, there are fabulous illustrations. It's a combination of art in relation to science, in relation to theology, in relation to philosophy, which particularly sparks my interest. Well, I have a particular interest in maps, particularly old maps, because they're always a bit wonky. You know, they haven't got their scale quite right, the rivers go a bit peculiar, and when you look at contemporary maps, for example, it looks quite different. Usually we don't have bits missing, as for example there are in some of the maps in Cosmographie. But in those maps too, there's a lovely sense of imagination and playfulness that the engraver and the artist have put into there. So there are the beautiful little ships that are sailing the seas, quite out of scale with the continents. And there are some fantastic sea creatures as well. I mean, this is a time of whaling, I guess, and people would be, while they're sailing, experiencing a lot of wildlife in the ocean, perhaps a bit more than we do today. So it was a fascinating experience for people who were sailing. I think this is a magical book, and it's one of the many treasures that you'll discover in the John Oxley Library, part of the Heritage Collections of the State Library of Queensland.